What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. Just wanted to share with you guys some of the different real estate strategies. We have the boot camp coming up next week for my real estate investing boot camp. It's all virtual online. And one of the days during the week, I think it's day 2, that we're going to actually talk about real estate investing strategies, all the different strategies that you can leverage when it comes to real estate, with by far the BRRRR strategy being my favorite strategy, just because it allows you to build wealth. We know fix and flip is a lot. It's popular. We do that one a lot. But the BRRRR strategy, fundamentally, it allows you to essentially get into a deal and get out 6 months, get all your capital out of the deal, and have an infinite return on your cash flow. What does that mean? What does that look like? So, a BRRRR deal is essentially finding a property that needs renovation. You buy it for, say, 60 cents on the dollar of what the after repair value will be. You go in, you make those renovations, and then instead of selling and flipping the property, you actually choose to keep it and rent it out. And once you rent it out, you either refinance it. Well, you really refinance it, because either you pay cash for the property, use your own money, or you got a loan, a short-term loan that usually may be 6, 9 months, 12 months for its the term before you have to pay it off. And then you refinance it and you get a long-term mortgage, whether it's 15 years, 30 years, and you have a tenant in place. But when you refinance, you get to do this thing that's called a cash-out refinance. And with that cash-out refi, you get to pull all your cash out. And even if you have money that once you pay your mortgage off, if it's still money left over after that mortgage amount, say they say, hey, we'll give you 80% loan to value of this new value, because you renovated the house, or they may give you 75%. If you only spent 70% of the after repair value, you put 5% in your pocket, minus your closing costs. And so that's one of the great strategies, that now you actually get paid at the closing table to get a deal done. And so now you have a cash flowing real estate property that's paying you $400, $500, $600 a month, and you don't have any money left in the deal. You actually got money at closing. And so that's one of the great strategies with the BRRRR strategy that I love. Another one is fix and flip, essentially buying a distressed property, coming in, adding value, making improvements, and then you sell the property to a retail buyer on the back end. Right now, with the crash in transactions that's happening right now in the retail market, flipping is a lot harder. Not say harder, but it takes a lot. It's longer. I mean, it's harder. I think it would be relative, because right now you got a lot of contractors out of work, and so you can get the labor to do a quality job a whole lot. Usually, when you got high supply of contractors like that, you can get some really good rates on your quotes. That's a tip for the day. Get multiple bids and quotes on your job, for whatever you're doing. But fix and flip, you buy low, sell high, and you take that profit. The only thing is, on fix and flip, that income is taxed at a higher rate. It's taxed as ordinary income, because usually you hold the asset less than 1 year, and so it doesn't get taxed as capital gains. It's actually taxed as ordinary income. So talk to your CPA. I'm not a CPA, not an accountant, but that's from my experience. That's what I've seen. And so fix and flip, it's a great strategy. That's one of the strategies that I use. We sell, we fix and flip, and we take the profit, because I still work my W-2 job. I'm still in the Air Force, been doing that 17 years now. And we just take the money from our flips and reinvest it and buy apartments and buy apartment buildings. And so that's what our strategy is. It has been for the last few years. We bought our first apartment, an 18 unit, which I guess is a perfect segue from fix and flip to apartment investing. And there's different ways you can invest in apartments. You can buy them straight up yourself. It takes a lot of money. Or you can partner up with 1 or 2 people. Done that. That's how we got our first deal done. I ended up owning 77% of our 18 unit, had a partner at 18% that came in and brought some capital, and then had another partner at 5%. And so we still own that deal. We refinanced it earlier this year, and then we actually took the majority of that money and rolled into this 76 unit that we bought in Montgomery, soon to be 96. Well, we're in the process of closing on the last 20 units with that deal. So apartments is a great way to build massive wealth, just for the economy of scale that comes with that asset class. We're gonna talk a lot about that in the boot camp. I'm gonna actually walk them through my 18 unit deal. I don't think we'll be able to go through this 96 unit package that we put together. Actually, one of my clients found the deal, and I was able to raise the money and bring my own money into it and sign on the loan and put it all together. Um, which was awesome. So we're talking a little about apartments and just the passive income strategies with that. Self-directed IRAs, being able to invest your retirement money. People don't realize that that is the number one wealth building tool for the majority average American. Because a lot of people, they have a corporate job, they leave them, they have their retirement account, and they don't know what to do with the money. But you can take that money and actually self-direct it and buy real estate into your retirement account, whereas that you're making cash flow, and the cash flow is actually going into your retirement account, and it's supercharging your retirement. And a lot of people don't take advantage of that opportunity with self-directed IRAs, whereas that they can supercharge their retirement account with cash flow and real estate if they don't need the income right now while they're still working, and they can pick up assets. Or you can go and get a simple loan against your retirement account, and guess what? Now you can go and buy multiple cash flowing properties, and you can bring in the cash flow right now, that you don't have to wait until 59 and a half and take it out of your IRA, that you can leverage that capital right now, and all the benefits that come with owning real estate, with depreciation, the cash flow that you get monthly, um, the tax write-offs, depreciation, those advantages, and then also just the monthly cash flow. Can't forget the cash flow. So that, being a note holder, promissory note, we have a lot of investor partners in our deals, whereas that they'll come in and they invest a certain amount of capital, and they get a return on their money. They get an interest payment. So that's a big one as well too, as a strategy to build wealth that's leveraging real estate. We're building a lender. We're essentially becoming the bank. Let's see another one. Live in flip. Live-in flip is another great strategy that you can use, to whereas that you buy a property that you're going to flip and make improvements to over time, and you live in it. Right now, if you live in it for 2 years and you sell the property, guess what? You can pocket gains up to 250,000 as a single individual, and I think up to 500,000 as a couple. Of course, talk to your financial advisor, your tax accountant, but to look at what the tax code, because it always changes. But you can save a lot of money in taxes by doing a live-in flip, make the improvements, then eventually sell. We did a combination of the live-in to rent, where also you can live in a house up to a year. If you do FHA, VA, and then after 1 year, you can actually move out and you can rent out the unit. So that's a perfect strategy if you use FHA or VA loan, and you're looking to get into like a multi-unit up to 4 units with that loan. Then you live in 1 unit for 1 year. Then now you got a fourplex that you're a landlord over after 1 year when you move out. And so we've combined with our VA loan, and we're going to talk about this next week in the boot camp, the live-in rent and the live-in flip, because we would buy a house that was a foreclosure, remodel it, live in it. Then when I had to move to another duty area for the Air Force, then we were renting out. And all along it was a flip that we lived in, but then we rented it out. Then you can do a cash out refinance, or you can sell it after you move out. And one of the cool things with the 5 year, well, I guess the 2 year rule, whereas that over the last 5 years, in order to get that capital gains break where you don't get taxes when you sell a home, that you have to live in it for at least 2 out of the last 5 years. But one of the advantages with military, with us moving around, they said, how about this? If you lived in it 2 out of the last 15 years, they tacked on an additional 10 years. So as long as you live 2 years out of the last 15 and you sold that house, all the profit is yours tax free up to those limits that I mentioned. So that's something you definitely want to talk to. That's why you got to have the right CPA. You got to have the right tax professional on your team, because there's so many rules and everybody's situation is different that you need to know for your own self. Whereas that you can make sure that your tax advantage. I think it was Tyler Perry that came out. He just fired his accounting team because somebody came in, did an audit, and the IRS owed him $9 million that his tax team didn't even realize it. And so he fired all of them because the government owed him $9 million. It's like, how does that happen? So you got to make sure you have a professional do your taxes, because everybody doesn't know what they're doing, and nobody cares about your bottom line more than you. But yeah, so the live-in rent strategy, live-in flip strategy, house hack, where you can rent out a room, you can rent out a basement. I know out in Cali they got the the ADUs, where you can have the alternative dwelling units. that you can have out back. People convert their garages. They have like in-law suites that you can have, and you can get a lot of money. A lot of people use that for a short-term rental strategy. Speaking of next strategy, short-term rentals, you can have a property and you can do Airbnb. I know a lot of people leverage that strategy. My man Justin is a Airbnb guru. And then also long-term rentals, I guess mid-term rentals, over 30 days, but less than a year, for working professionals, nurses, individuals that's in that field that have a career that move around. They have to come to an area for a short amount of time, but they're looking for quality housing that's already furnished. And so partnering up with different companies that bring a lot of people in for training, or TDYs with the military. If you got a location where a lot of people come in and out of TDY, that a lot of times they like to just have a house for 30 days or 60 days instead of being in a hotel. So those are all just different strategies we're going to talk about next week. But the goal is to help people figure out, based off their lifestyle, how much time they got, how much money they got, what's the best real estate strategy or strategies for them in order to be successful in building wealth, and helping them understand how do they get to that passive income number where they can stop trading their time for money. So that's what it's all about. That's what we're doing at Bootcamp. I'm going to be pushing people, and hopefully at the end of this, that people are going to be in a way better position. They're going to have their own strategy going to 2023, which I think is going to be a great opportunity to pick up some discounted assets if you had the knowledge and information to know what you're looking for, to know what you're doing. So it's definitely going to be a blessing next week. So tap in. We got VIP where you can actually each day before I do my teaching general admission, you can ask questions for an hour. I'm going to have a couple people come through and have a mini mastermind panel as well too, where you're not just getting my perspective, but that's the whole purpose of the REI Genius Community that we're building, is to have other people in like-minded, where the Bible says iron sharpens iron, is because you have to have other people around you where you don't have just your own brain that you're trying to think about it. But now you have a mastermind, you have multiple minds all helping you solve problems and be creative and giving you ideas that you would have never thought of on how you can be successful and how you can change and grow your business, grow your portfolio over time. So that's what this is all about. I'm super excited about this event and everything that we got coming in 2023. And it's going to be an awesome opportunity. But yeah, just talk about real estate strategies. Shoot me a DM if you don't have the link. I know it's all over my profile. But yeah, just look and continue to connect with other investors and continue to grow this. So you guys be blessed. It's about to get some gym time in, get on the clock so I can get back home and take advantage of this 96-hour pass and enjoy the family. So y'all be blessed, and I'll see you on the next one.